Hello and welcome to Unit 6. We continue our journey of understanding the field of industrial hygiene by looking at another very specific type of hazard. In this unit, we'll talk about radiation, and so we are interested in radiation safety. So I want to warn you right out of the chute that this is a very technical area. There are lots of equations that people that study this field in depth have to understand. We're going to introduce you to a discipline called health physics, and that is the term that is used for specialists in the area of radiation safety. And as I point out in the lecture, there are people in the field that would probably take offense at us having a discussion about radiation safety in a course dealing with industrial hygiene. So we'll let people and their egos fight that little battle, but it's very important as an industrial hygienist or even a safety professional that we have a basic understanding of this field. So very complicated. Don't get worked up about any of the terminology or the equations that you might encounter in this field. The best place to start is to understand that there are two basic types of radiation. One is called ionizing and the other is non-ionizing. And as you will read about in this unit, it has to do with the amount of energy that that radiation contains and then the effect that it has on whatever media it encounters. So two big categories, and lots of examples that you're probably already aware of in each category. So for example, a beta particle is an example of a type of ionizing radiation. Ultraviolet, we hear about that through all sorts of public health announcements associated with the hazards of sunbathing and UV exposure and it causing skin cancer. UV is a type of non-ionizing radiation. So even though we don't need to understand the super technical parts of radiation, as a safety professional and industrial hygienist, you will most likely be asked about some aspect of radiation. So I gave you one example, ultraviolet radiation associated with sun exposure. Another one that we talk a little bit about is radon, and you'll learn about radon in this unit, and you'll find out that a large portion of the United States has actually background radon levels that exceed guidelines that are put out by the Environmental Protection Agency. So many homeowners have to make a decision about the risk associated with radon exposure and whether or not it's worth $1,500 or so to put a radon mitigation system in their basement. So here's a public health problem that is basically dealing with radiation, and since health physicists, people that specialize in radiation safety, are not exactly prevalent in the U.S., it's very likely that you might be asked to weigh in on this particular topic. So my hope is that by the time you are done reading the information in the lecture and the book, that you're going to feel pretty good about your knowledge of this topic. And in fact, hopefully, you'll be able to follow up on some specific radiation topics, such as radon, or, for example, the topic of laser pointers, which has been in the news periodically over the last few years. Recall, people buy these laser pointers that have varying powers associated with them, and then they use them at basketball games to distract someone at the free throw line. And even worse, there have been examples of people flashing lasers at incoming jet planes as they're landing. So pretty stupid thing, pretty dangerous thing. But unfortunately, it is something that we do hear about in the general media. So enjoy the journey. Don't freak out. Learn as much as you can about radiation, and this should set the stage for any future study that you want to do. Thank you.